And we are back as we wrap up today's episode of Books to Read featuring Dr. Alisa Devlin, talking about her book From Both Sides of the Chair. I just wanted to make sure that we went in the extra time. I didn't want to, because the show would have cut off like crazy if I didn't do what I just did. So fortunately, I was able to do that because I didn't want her to not be able to say, goodbye and everything like as I usually do. One of the things about, of course, live radio is you have to kind of, roll with each particular different situation because everybody is not the same, obviously. And in this particular case, she had a lot of details in regards to her personal story and how she led up to getting to where she is. And I think that everybody needs to hear it. So usually where I would have maybe interjected a little bit, I didn't want to do that this time just because of what she was saying specifically. And because when she got to the point where she said, well, she's a clinical doctor who also actually has these anxieties as well herself. And she's able to treat people with that, which that's how the title of the book came about. So at that point, when I realized that, then I definitely wanted to be able to do this in a different way to make sure I made her as comfortable as possible as well. So, like I said, I usually try to cater to each guest that I have as far as interviewing. So I'm glad I was able to do that in this particular case. I want to shout out those who were watching on Facebook Live and still might be watching. I haven't ended the show quite yet. Rico, Wayne, Sylvester, appreciate it. Anybody else who watches after the fact, thanks for the support. Again, sorry having to shut down the chat room, but some crazy person was talking about digging up people and all kind of. I was like, I'm trying to block him. I got distracted for a moment because I was also looking to see if this person tried to call in because I technically wasn't going to be able to take a call because if it was that person, y'all didn't want to hear what he had to say. So I had to do that at the same time of listening to my guest answer the questions I was asking at the same time. That was kind of dicey for a second there. But I'm glad that Dr. Devlin was able to be on the show today. Because it is an occurrence that is hurting, the population as a whole. When you get to that point where you just don't know what else to do, and we've seen the numbers as far as suicides with young people over the last few years go up, right? And she mentioned one technique in particular as far as this on the anxiety attack part of things, and I experienced it. Earlier this year, I won't say exactly what had happened, but it was enough for me to put myself in the emergency room. It was enough for the doctor to have to do a brain scan just to make sure I was okay. It was to that point. So, anxiety can get everybody, even the best of us. So, I appreciate Dr. Devlin coming on to the show. Her book she's actually still writing her book. So there might be a time where we might actually invite her back on the show to where when her book is published. But if you look her up, Dr. Alisa Devlin, and also you can actually, and if you look at the promo for the show, if you go to, let me see, because I want to make sure I say the actual name right here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Again, thanks for y'all. Global Summit House. So if you go to Global Summit House, the website, you'll be able to probably pull her information up eventually as that book becomes published. It's not out quite yet, but if you look her up by name, Dr. Alisa Devlin, you'll probably be able to pull her up as well. So again, thanks to Dr. Devlin for coming on to the show today. Again, to address a particular topic that, again, not everybody really wants to talk about. They want to push it aside. Don't worry about it. I'm good. But we've seen not just with young people, with older ones too. Think about all the celebrities this year, decade after decade, to where that is one of the main reasons they're not with us anymore. I think about Robin Williams more so than anybody because he was the comedian extraordinaire, making everybody happy and smile and laugh and everything. But he's going through this and that and this and that, and all of a sudden he ain't here no more, right? And again, it's something that can be addressed, but it has to be addressed. at a certain point, right? And you have to want to address it too. And then you have to have people around you that want to, want to address it as well. So thanks to all those who are still listening. Thanks to those who listen to the live version. Thanks to those who will go back and download the Spreake app and follow the IMTN Worldwide Radio page and click on shows and click on books to read. I will be downloading this show later on this afternoon for people to listen to. And stay tuned for more shows coming up. Women in Business show. We'll have some new episodes soon. And, of course, every week on IMTN Worldwide Radio, we have the show Around the ATL, which just recently celebrated their one-year anniversary a couple of weekends ago. Every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock is that particular show. So, again, if you're not following on Instagram and Facebook, do that now, IMTN Worldwide Radio. And please download the Spreake app and follow the IMTN Worldwide Radio page. We are, recently on Castbox now, another platform where you can listen to the show, besides Spotify and Google Play Music and various others, Blog Talk Radio, of course, Spreaker. So there's a lot of different ways to listen to programming on IMTN Worldwide Radio. And again, we appreciate all the support from everybody who's been listening over the years as far as IMTN Worldwide Radio is concerned, and of course other programs that have just been initialized. So we're going to call it a day. Again, thank you for listening. Thanks, Dr. Alisa Devlin, for coming on to the show, making out time for us today. We really appreciate talking about from both sides of the chair, book in regards to anxiety, depression, coping with it, and what can be done to handle it and to prevent these things from happening over and over again. Your story is very tremendous, very inspirational, really, when you think about it. How you kind of told us that you're kind of putting yourself out there right now. As someone who has these issues, but you're also a doctor treating other people with those issues. So that was a pretty cool announcement there. We appreciate you trusting us to do that. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. This is Chris on IMTN Worldwide Radio. This was Books to Read. We'll talk to you again next time.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Global Summit House podcast. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or Google Play. Connect with us at globalsummithouse.com. See you on the next episode.